Hi, it's Paul here from selfappforlife.com, and today I'm going to cover 10 great ways to overcome obstacles and adversity in your life. Now, on your road to success, you are likely to hit obstacles and adversity. It's just part of life and it's what helps you learn and grow. But to make this easier and less frustrating for you, I'm going to cover 10 great ways to help you deal with obstacles and adversity in your life. So the first one is to take responsibility. It's really tempting when things aren't going the way you want them to blame someone else. But when you do that, you relinquish control and you take away your power and you'll feel helpless. And it's like effectively saying, I have no power to change this, or I can't make this happen unless this person changes or this situation happens. Now, in reality, you have more control than you think. And it's good to look at what you can control, however small that is, and focus on that. And also take responsibility for the situation and especially your reaction to it. You know, it's true we can't always take responsibility for things that happen in our life, but we can always take responsibility for our reactions to them. So the second way is to control negative thoughts. So when things aren't going the way you want them to go, it's very easy to start to think negatively. And if you keep doing that, then self-doubt kicks in and you begin to lose confidence in yourself. So whenever you notice a negative thought or feeling, mentally say the word stop, or even say it out loud if you can, and then change to the opposite positive thought. And the easiest way to do that is just to say, well, what do I want instead? And then focus on that thought. Another thing you can say is thanks for sharing. So whenever you notice a negative thought, just say in your mind, thanks for sharing, and allow your mind to switch to something else. Also look out for certain words that you say to yourself. So words such as always and every time. So if you say something like, I always stuff this up, then question that by saying always, and then look for the exceptions. Okay, the third way is to focus on solutions. So remind yourself and focus on what it is you want and not what you don't want. Remind yourself of why you want this goal in the first place and focus on the end result and the next step. That's really, really important. And remember the reticular activating system, which I covered in another video, which will appear just up here, focuses on the goals that you set it. So when you're focusing on what you want, that will start to bring people, places and things into your life that are based on what you want. So that's really, really important. Now, if you want to look at this in a more spiritual way, then remember that your thoughts are energy. So positive thoughts give you positive energy, and that positive energy attracts positive energy. So the more you focus on what you want, the more you're likely to manifest that with the law of attraction. So number 4 is to view the obstacle or adversity as a test. And this is a fantastic way to look at a problem or adversity in a different way. So think of it as a signal that you need to learn or grow in some way, or that there's some kind of fear you need to overcome. And once you overcome that and you gain the knowledge, the skills and the experience, you'll then be able to go on to the next step, that much more fun next step, or even achieve the goal completely. And so think of it as a lesson, as a test, and as a learning opportunity. So the 5th way is to talk it over with a like-minded person. Now you've got to pick the right person to do this. It's got to be someone that you can trust and someone that believes in you, at least to some degree anyway. And so this could be a friend, it could be a colleague, it could be a therapist, it could be a coach. And why is this important? Well, because we can become very engrossed in the problem and it's like we can't see the wood from the trees. So what another person can do is that they can provide a different perspective, a more detached perspective, and they can see through your blind spots. They can also provide guidance and advice on things that you hadn't thought of. And also they will listen to you and you can get stuff off your chest, so that can help release emotions such as frustration and anger. So that's a great way to release emotions as well. So just talking with someone can help you do that. And another way to release emotions is also covered in a video that's going to pop up here, which is all about the Sedona method. Now the 6th way is to relax. Now relaxing feels great anyway, and there's lots of great ways to relax, you know, from meditation to going for a nice quiet walk to doing like a progressive muscle relaxation exercise. That's where you just consciously relax all the different muscles of your body. And when you relax, your mind is not thinking about anything in particular, it's not thinking about any particular problems, and this allows your intuition to come to the fore, so your intuition to speak. And also you find you will gain insights from your unconscious mind as well at that time. And this is often what I find is often I get my best ideas in the shower, and I suspect you get this too. And I wonder why that is. Well, maybe it's because the hot water relaxes your body, and because your body then relaxes, your mind relaxes, and ideas come up that you just didn't think of earlier. So number 7 is to focus on what you can control. So whenever you're dealing with an upset, adversity, some kind of disappointment, there's really 3 parts to it. There's what you can't control, what you could influence, and what you can definitely control. So let's give you an example. Let's say that you didn't get a promotion. Okay, so what's outside your control? Well, the decision of the manager to give that job to someone else. What could you influence? Well, the possibility of getting that promotion in the future. So if you can impress that manager over time, then maybe when the next opportunity comes up, you'll get that. So you've got some influence over that. You can't completely control that, but you could certainly influence it. And what can you definitely control? Well, you could go to that manager and you could ask for feedback, ask for, what was it I need to work on to be able to get that promotion next time? And then you can start acting on the feedback and working harder and gaining new skills so that you have what it takes to get that promotion next time. The good thing is that you can generally control much more than you think you can. And when you then focus on what you control rather than what you can't, then you're naturally going to feel more relaxed, you'll reduce stress and anxiety, and you'll have greater feelings of confidence because you're focusing on the things that you can change. Okay, number 8 is to look after yourself. So in a situation with adversity or upsets or disappointments, it's so easy to forget to look after yourself. So you start to eat badly, you don't exercise, and maybe you have less sleep because you're trying to work really hard to improve your situation. But actually that tends to have the opposite effect. So it's much better to eat well, sleep well, and make time for exercise, because that will improve your mental health as well as your physical health as well. And you'll make better decisions, you'll have higher levels of motivation, and you'll be more resilient and more positive as well. Okay, number 9 is to visualize the outcome. Remember that this current adverse situation is temporary and that it will pass with time. And look back at previous difficult times in your life and notice how you overcame them and notice how things did improve. And then visualize what you want instead. Visualize the successful outcome. And if you want to learn more about visualization, there's a video that's going to pop up just here about how to visualize correctly and effectively. So the last one, number 10, is to keep going. So to keep taking action, keep learning, keep moving forward, and keep growing. Sometimes things require a different approach and it's good to be flexible, but as you keep focusing on what you want, you'll find that the obstacles and the adversity will start to drift into the past and you'll start to experience the success and the good times once again. So those are my 10 ways to help you overcome any adversity and obstacles in your life. Hope you found this video useful. If you did, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, or do leave a comment below as well. I'd love to hear what you think. And do subscribe to this channel if you haven't already and click the bell notification. That way you will always be notified whenever I release future videos. And do go and check out my website. On there you will find all my blog articles that go with these videos. Also a link to my podcast and social media as well. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I look forward to sharing more great content with you very soon. Bye for now.